Hello, my name is Tony Beers, and this is Movie Grades. And for my next review, I wanted to review a movie that very few people have seen, or very few reviewers have reviewed. The movie I'm going to review for you is entitled Now You Know. And I know what you're thinking, but no, this is not based on the G.I. Joe PSA commercials.
It's not scary being lost if you don't lose your head. Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!
This movie is produced by Kevin Smith and written and directed by Jeff Anderson. Now, Jeff Anderson is the guy who played Randall in Clerks, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and Clerks 2. Jeff Anderson not only writes and directs this movie, he also stars in it. He plays a character very similar to his character of Randall in the other movies that he's been in. Even though this movie is not written or directed by Kevin Smith, it has a lot of Kevin Smith-isms. The movie, if I was told this movie was written by Kevin Smith, I would probably believe it, even though it's not. Jeff Anderson has a very similar writing style. The movie has a lot of foul language, much like Kevin Smith's movies. A lot of foul language and a lot of talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex.
Which is in almost every single Kevin Smith movie. So it's very much a Kevin Smith movie. He did produce this movie, so it is partly his movie. Kevin Smith also has a brief cameo in this movie, as well as his wife. Kevin Smith plays basically a drunken friend at the main character Jeremy's bachelor party, who at this bachelor party all of his friends are trying to give him marital advice. None of it sounds very good. It's pretty bad advice, in fact. This movie is about a man who is dumped by his fiancée just before the wedding. The entire movie he's trying to figure out why he's been dumped and how to explain this to his family, who has come in from all over to be at the wedding.
Every time I tell someone, they say, "What happened?" I don't know what happened.
So why'd she do it then?
I don't know. She said she just wasn't happy.
In the meantime, his friends are trying to cheer him up. How they try to cheer him up? By breaking and entering into people's homes. I know, that sounds weird, but they're basically breaking in these people's homes and rearranging their furniture to basically scare them into convincing them to buy a home security system. The other half of this movie is Jeremy Sisto's ex-fiancée. In this movie, she's also trying to figure out why she dumped this character, Jeremy. She has no idea why she did it, but she was the one that broke her off. So that's one of the big complaints I have of this movie, but I guess it's really what women are like anyways. They just basically don't know what they want. So it's very truthful to women. That's another thing that surprised me about Jeff Anderson, is he writes women's dialogue very well. It sounds extremely natural, like it was written by a woman himself. So I don't know what that says about Jeff Anderson, but it's just went very well for women. This movie stars Jeremy Sisto, who stars in one of the millions of Law and Order shows. You might be surprised to know that Jeremy Sisto plays the voice of Batman in Justice League: A New Frontier.
True. That's my secret.
The best thing about this movie is the dialogue. It is really great dialogue. Jeff Anderson really impressed me and surprised me about how great of a writer he is. This is his first time writing and directing, and he's not a great director, but he's really a brilliant writer. The dialogue in this movie is very natural. It sounds very much like normal people that you hear every day. My favorite character in this movie is named Biscuit. I know it's a strange name for a character, but he is played by Trevor Fairman, who he is brilliant in this movie. He is excellent. I don't know why this kid has not gotten more work. He should get a lot more work. He is a great actor. I've only seen him in two movies, this and he played Elias in Clerks 2.
Say what you will about Jesus, but leave the rings out of this.
But he is hilarious in this movie. This kid does deserve more work in Hollywood. So any Hollywood people out there who sees this video, I believe this kid should get an Oscar eventually. I mean, he's just hilarious in both movies. Biscuit, he's basically just a dumbass loser, but he's a lovable dumbass loser. And he's just hilarious character. He's just so funny without trying to be funny. He's just dumb, and he says these crazy observations just that sound so dumb that they're funny. They're just hilarious.
I wouldn't wish marriage on my worst enemy.
So he's my favorite character in this movie. Another really great thing about this movie is it has Debbie Dunning in it. And Debbie Dunning is the really hot chick from Home Improvement that would introduce the show Tool Time. She looks amazing in this movie. She is in this movie in a bikini for only about a minute, but it is a great minute in this movie. My biggest complaint about this movie is that it is an independent, low-budget movie, and it shows. I mean, the movie looks like crap. The bad look of the movie is to be expected from a low-budget, independent movie. So, if you enjoy a very funny, Kevin Smith-esque type movie, and you don't mind foul language and talk about sex, and the poor quality of the video and the look of the movie, then you would very much enjoy this movie.
I would pay good money to see that.
My final grade, I give this movie a solid B. Now you know, now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!
My name is Tony Beers, and thank you for watching Movie Grace. See you next time.
Randall!